Welcome to Longplays by FreePlay. This is Chris Delp joining you, and we are going to long play a game that you didn't know was in the arcades. It is the Megatech System version of the Sega Genesis classic. Wait for it. Sega. That's right. It's Sonic the Hedgehog. Hit it, Sonic. Let's go. So, now's the time where I say my name is Chris Delp. I'm the community liaison for FreePlay Arcade. I play arcade games for a living, and more importantly, get other people to play them. And we do things like podcasts, Game of the Week videos, long plays like this, all kinds of cool stuff on our YouTube page, which you're at now. Click the bell icon to subscribe, and you can see more of my terrible, terrible play. I'm okay. But also, plenty of other, more compelling people playing. So, back to the game. That right there, this right here, is what Sonic's all about. Blowing through that part of the level, and that sort of whirlwindy fashion. This was originally designed as a tech demo by the creator of the game. His name is Yuki Naka. I'm probably mispronouncing his name bad. Let's see, Yuji Naka. I apologize, Mr. Yuji, for butchering your name. But yeah, he created a character that could spin into a ball and then zip through a level like this. And then they designed an entire game around it. This was a Sega Genesis classic. It was, I don't know that it was meant to be a Mario killer, but this is definitely a response game to the Super Mario Brothers series on the NES. This was a 16-bit game for the Genesis, and we're playing the arcade version of it, which in essence is exactly the same. I have to use a joystick, but I can use a joystick. I work at an arcade, no problems here. Whee! What am I doing? I want to go up there. Whatever. I'm wasting time. I don't need to waste time. So, yeah, this came out in the early 90s. I want to say 1990. Again, Super Mario Brothers had set the world on fire. Sega had not set the world on fire with the Sega Master System, nor had they set the world on fire with the equally, honestly, the superior Sega Genesis. I say superior because it was 16-bit in the late 80s. You know, it was double the processing power of the old NES, so it was the better system, but the games just weren't equal to the classics like Metroid and Super Mario Brothers and Zelda and all those Nintendo classics that they still re-release today. So they needed themselves a mascot and a good platformer, and they got one. So that's where Sonic the Hedgehog comes in. It's the bonus stage. I feel like the bonus stage here, you get 50 rings in one of the main stages, get that giant ring at the end, you go into the Chaos Emerald bonus stage. I feel like it's the weakest part of the game because this game says, please go fast. Everything about this, the pumping music, the bonus icons, the way it's designed says, you should go recklessly fast throughout this game. I don't know that speed running would be quite the same concept without the inspiration of games like this that was pushing you for speed at all times. Because if you remember back to Super Mario Brothers, it had a clock, but it really wasn't saying beat me as fast as humanly possible. Whereas this game is like, go, 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 we're gonna speed up the music now, let's go even faster. Go, 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 go. That's Sonic the Hedgehog for you. And then of course it hits you with things that send you backwards. Whee! Things that slow you down like this little contraption here. But I do love the animation. This is incredible pixel animation, really at its best. Looks like we got some parallax scrolling in the background, which was something that the Genesis was really famous for. I want to say Moon Patrol was the game that first introduced parallax scrolling, but I'm not 100% sure. If it was Moon Patrol, we do indeed have it in the free play ecosphere. I'll put it this way, I'm 100% sure that Moon Patrol of the early 80s did indeed have parallax scrolling. Oh, and that just means sort of this plane here is scrolling at a different speed than this further back one. It creates kind of a pseudo 3D effect. Hey, it's Dr. Robotnik, or Eggman. I think he's just Eggman in this version. He always shows up at the end of level 3 with some sort of odd contraption to try and defeat your Hedgehog. Never too hard. See, there are players that are really, really good at this game who can speedrun it. I'm not one of them. I have indeed won a Sonic the Hedgehog tournament before because that's my bizarre life. But that was the rules of that were you got 5 minutes to play and you had to score as many points as possible, which is an odd scoring system. If you want to score as many points as possible in 5 minutes or less, I can tell you the only way to go is to beat the first levels in less than 30 seconds. You get a 50,000 point score bonus, and that cannot be equaled anywhere. At least not that I'm aware of. Maybe there's some sort of like scoring glitch that I don't know about, but part of the reason that I picked this game to play through is the music. I love this music. We just heard Spring Hill Zone's classic music, which is, I think, synonymous with Sonic. This is, what is this, Marble Run? Yes way, Mutoid Man. We are indeed filming live at Free Play Richardson. And that means, not 80s music because we're not open yet, but it does mean Mutoid Man will be going on and on about his disbelief on my lack of Sonic the Hedgehog skills. So yeah, speedrunners have carved this game up as they have carved up virtually every game of the era, and I have to say, I'm a huge fan. World record Longplays. There's another reason why this is an interesting game. All the extra animations they put in. You can also make Sonic look up. I should go get hit. Let's go get hit. There we go. All right, so he can kind of balance on a toe. There we go. He can look down. He can look up. And if I wait here for a little while, he'll get mad at me, which is really interesting. Idle animations, there he is, he's pissed. So idle animations were not common in the era. I had seen it before, but never in a popular game. I remember the game Deja Vu on the NES had a character tap its toes in displeasure whenever you would take too long. But Sonic had that extra flourish of just bringing it to a mainstream platformer. And there's so much attitude in this game. I absolutely love it. It's an age-old question of which one do you prefer, Super Mario or Sonic. Those two don't exist without each other. I guess Super Mario Brothers certainly exists without Sonic, but Super Mario World does not exist in a world without Sonic the Hedgehog. He gets his own idle animations. A lot of the stuff that they did with branching paths and stuff were influenced by this game. So it's personal preference. I like them both. But the music and the kind of cohesive attitudinalness of Sonic here really makes me like this game. Oh, he's always doing the peace sign. Later adapted by Mario, who liked to do it as well. So this level spins around in a circle. It takes forever. The objective is to get 50 coins to gain a continue. I don't care about that, because if I lose, then I'm really upset with myself. But to get the best ending of the game, which I am not guaranteeing, by the way. Oh, there's your continue sound. So that means I got 50 coins, and I'm terrible. What am I doing? This is why it's Longplays. You can almost see that gem in the middle there. There it is. That's the Chaos Emerald. That's the objective of this. I hope I can do it. I am not. There we go. Finally. So, this part of the game, not my favorite. It's slow, it's plotting. This game is not slow and plotting. It takes away a lot of the mechanics of the actual game where you're platforming. There's your continue. It's not the worst game not the worst bonus level I've ever seen, so it's not terrible. It's just, there's something about this game, Marble Zone here, that's so tight in its design. It's not like, it's not a game that wants you to spend forever in the level. There is a hard time limit of 10 minutes. You cannot replay the levels. So it's not asking you to farm anything. It just wants you to progress through in as quick of a manner as you can. And as such, I adore the presentation. What is going on here? You cannot jump on those guys because of their spininess. Or you can, it would just hit you. Whee! Did you have any idea this was at an arcade? Because I had no idea before they introduced it. Our tech, Josh, said we got a Genesis version of the Play Choice 10, and that's essentially what this is. Play Choice 10 famously let you play NES era games at the cost of like, I don't know, a quarter for every 10 minutes. They released individual games for the NES. You could play in the arcade. They were not tuned to arcades at all. They would just simply time out on you. It was a big hit though, because people were familiar with the games enough that they thought, sure, I will play for a few minutes for a quarter of Super Mario Brothers. So they released this and one called the Sega Mega Play. This is the Mega Tech system. Just to sort of keep the train rolling with Genesis games, which looked better. It did not take off because, honestly, I think the Genesis was so dang compelling that most people just played it at home and said, I don't want to play the arcade version because it's exactly the same. And you know what? They're right, it is exactly the same, but not everybody has a Genesis at home anymore. This isn't 1992. We have PS4s, soon to be PS5s. We have emulators of this game, which is its own thing. But this is not an emulator. This is the real deal on a CRT. I can tell you, as someone who played Sonic the Hedgehog a ton back in the day, I feel like I'm playing Sonic the Hedgehog, and I indeed am. And it makes me quite happy. It really does. Okay, let's see. This way, this way, this way. Okay. Let's try and maximize these points, shall we? Yay, points. What do points get you in a game like this? Nothing. But it's fun to do anyway. I always dreamed when I was a kid not of doing speed runs, but instead doing cinematic runs. And that just meant, to me it meant, don't die. And make sure your character does all the cool stuff that the game does. So if he wants to balance on the side of the stage, he does that. He looks up at the enemies. And this game here inspired me to do it. There we go. Now we have a better look at Sonic. Whee! There's hidden bonuses all throughout this level. Every one of them, outside of Act 3, has a 10,000 point bonus. If you're point pressing in a timed tournament, go find those. The 10,000 points is something you're not going to get back. This one's wide open. I don't like my chances. So why am I going through this? If you get all 6 Chaos Emeralds, you get a slightly different ending. And if indeed this was not the Longplays by Freeplay, but a cinematic run-through from my childhood dreams, I would absolutely require that you get the best ending. Because the whole point in my head was, this is how it would have played out if it was a movie. And the thing is, when I think of movies, I don't think of the hero dying and then coming back to life. I am in big trouble. All right, Chris, what have you done? Oh dear. I got it, I don't got it. Reversing fields, reversing again. It's right there. Get it, Sonic. No! And welcome to the trauma of my childhood all over again. Yay! No! Yay! No! Nope! Oh man, I've made this harder than it needed to be. There we go. Just as I planned it. Again, this is not a speed run. This is clearly the polar opposite of a speed run. Taking my 3 Chaos Emeralds and going home. I gotta continue, we're not gonna use. Alright, Marble Zone Act 3. Act 3 is always the last level of a zone. You always face Robotnik, aka Eggman, aka not Jim Carrey, at the end. But you may have noticed there is a new movie coming out named Sonic the Hedgehog that does feature Jim Carrey playing Eggman, doing all of his 90s shtick exactly as it is the 90s, with Sonic the Hedgehog looking significantly worse than this version of Sonic the Hedgehog, and I'm not sure how they pulled that off. The internet seemed quite angry at them for doing this. I can't say I cared that much. If the subject is bad video game versions of movies, then this conversation could go on for many, 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 many hours. They can't destroy my childhood because no matter how bad Sonic looks in the trailer for the new Sonic the Hedgehog movie, this one always looks awesome. Isn't that right, Sonic? You just sit there and listen to me talk, Sonic. So yeah, I mean, I don't care. The movie can be as good or bad as it's gonna be. I will, oh no, I've killed myself. Sonic, how'd you let me do this? This is awful. All right. I don't know if I can recover from this. Yes, I can. I meant to do that. Let's not put that part in the movie, okay? I mean, maybe they will, but... how the life system works in this game, if you have 1 gold ring, you are invincible for 1 hit. So that's what happened there. I got hit, I lost all my rings, and you do lose 100% of your rings, but they kind of burst out. You can collect them over again, and as long as you perpetually get 1 ring, you are going to be quite safe and in no danger of losing your life. That's not entirely true, but minimal danger of losing your life. There are 1-hit kills in this game, even if you have protection, and that would be getting squished by things like this. So if I were to stand on right there, I would be squished, and go bong, and that'll be the end of the game. Instead, I'm just going to collect extra lives. Yay, fanfare. What was I going to say? There we go, no squish here. We don't do squishy. You can also fall off of a platform into nothingness, I do believe. That'll kill you in one hit. Usually the stages end in spikes though. Towards the end of the game we get some platforms that'll kill you. We are on Act 3, so I guess I don't care as much that I have very few rings. The only things rings get me, in my opinion, are access to the bonus stage at the end, which isn't at this level, and a few bonus points, so I don't care. I think you have to hit Robotnik 10 times. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, don't care. 8 times. Guess I miscounted. Oh, and you're supposed to be saving his little critter friends. Those are all of his friends. That's the story of Sonic. All those evil robots that Robotnik is using against you are just your little animal friends turned into robots. That's the lore. We've checked it. Here, let's see. Boop, there he is, little chicken. Easy to forget, having played these games as long as I have. There we go, little pigs. So we're in Spring Hill Zone? Spring Valley Zone? What is this? Check the tape. It's Spring something zone. I'm going to tell you something. This is the reason I like pinball so dang much. This level right here. Because when I played this, pinball had gone out of style. We're talking the early 90s. I lived in Louisiana. I could play in a console. I could not afford to play in an arcade, thus making me get really good at the few games I could play. But I could sit here and play this game, and I really appreciated all the pinball things that they had in this game. And he could be trapped in a giant pachinko machine, which is more popular. Oh, let's see if I can get this. Okay, you hit this button. All right, you hit this button right here. Get it? Yeah, it takes that platform up and it does not come back down. So if you want to get to this section of the stage, you only get that one chance to do it. Why do you want to do it? I don't know, just to see something new. This game has many diverging paths. I've just been taking one at my leisure. Obviously if you want to speed run, you'll want to optimize your path, but I both want a long play through this game and I don't know the speedrun path, so there's that. So I think this is not a pachinko machine, but a pinball machine because pop bumpers. Subsequent games, like Sonic Spinball, you even have flippers. Now I'm not sure why pinball is the subject and not pachinko, considering that pinball is not the most popular in Japan, whereas pachinko is. I know pinball exists because the last time I went outside to a major fighting game tournament that featured Japanese players, one of the old Street Fighter II players came up to me because he knew I worked at Free Play Arcade, where we have many pinball machines set on free play, and he wanted to compare pinball notes. That is Shogatsu, the best Honda player in Super Turbo of all time. Little known, he is a tournament level pinball player as well. Go figure. Me and him represent some of the very few crossover in the Super Turbo and pinball world. But it really does transfer over because you have to have lightning fast reflexes and also incredible timing, just precision timing. If you see a speedrunner talking about a 1 frame link, that is not only standard in a fighting game. 1 frame reversals, sometimes you have 4 frame links or 2 frame links. That represents 1/60th of a second, so your timing has to be down to 1/60th of a second. Which seems impossible when I talk about it, and then the game requires it and I do it, and it is what it is. But pinball doesn't give you even that. If you want to make a soft catch, it's just the pinball dropping on top of you, hitting the flipper, having the pinball magically stick. That almost ended my stage right there. there's an arrow. I appreciate this arrow. It is telling me where to go. Can I get there? That's another story. But it at least told me where. No, wrong way. Where's my arrow? I got another continue I'm not going to use. Hey, arrow, going this way. Going. Trying. Not going. This is bad. So if you touch the up icon, it changes the rotation of this level to make it faster. Down icon makes it go slower. That's more advantageous to me because I don't have the timing of a god when it comes to this game. R reverses the field. And really you just want to avoid the red exit that I'm getting close to now. There we go. I got this. Yay. Sweet, what was that, 4? It's cool. Well, this concludes episode 1 of our Sonic the Hedgehog Long Plays by Freeplay. Subscribe to us on YouTube, click the bell icon, and yeah, we'll be back next week or very soon with part 2, aka Spring Hill Zone Act 2. Bye, everybody. Sonic, say goodbye. Sonic, say goodbye. I promise, if you say goodbye, Sonic, yeah, now tell them to subscribe on YouTube, bell icon, it's up there. Sonic, why are you looking at me like that? Look, you and me can have this conversation all day long or until the batteries go out. No? All right, fine. That's the end. See you guys later.